Shalom. Hi. Welcome, sheep in the garden. It is your faithful black sheep. And today is New Year's Eve on the Gregorian calendar. So in the description box, you will find a beautiful video from our friends Sergio and Rhoda in Israel of their current fireworks, which I find extremely odd because they keep the New Year in September, but their actual New Year is in March. And that actually brings us to today's video. Hallelujah. A little reminder that on September 23rd, 2017, we saw the Star of Bethlehem in the heavens for the first time in 2,000 years. It's been about 5 years since then. It was just a beautiful night. It was a life changer for me. We need more light. So, let's begin here in chapter 23 of Leviticus. And I'm just going to read the first paragraph, but we have read the entire chapter before, and I do encourage you to read it. And this video is, I'm going to explain myself here. I swear I am. Okay, and just not yet. Yahuwah has spoken to Moses, saying, "Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them concerning the feasts of Yahuwah, which you shall proclaim to be holy assemblies. Even these are my feasts. 6 days shall work be done, but the 7th day is the Sabbath of rest. A holy assembly, you shall do no work therein. It is the Sabbath of Yahuwah in all your dwellings." And keeping the Sabbath is the 4th commandment. And let's come over here to Deuteronomy chapter 5, beginning at verse 12. "Guard, Aleph and Tav, divine, the day of the Sabbath, to sanctify it as Yahuwah Eloheka has commanded you. 6 days you shall labor and do all your work, but the 7th day is the Sabbath of Yahuwah Eloheka. In it you shall do no work." And he goes on to list everybody in your household who also should not be doing any work. It's very important that we keep the 7th day. Now, how are we going to know which day is the 7th day? Well, we know it's the dark new moon. And this is my grand unveiling of why I'm going to go by the Jewish calendar. However, I'm going to keep God's Sabbath. I'm not keeping their Sabbath. Why? Because chapter 41 of Enoch, verse 6, "The course of the moon's path to the righteous is light, but to sinners it is darkness. In the name of Yahuwah Sabaoth, who created a division between light and darkness, and separating the spirits of men, strengthen the spirits of the righteous in the name of his own righteousness." And I'm also doing it because every month this year, as we know, it's all been super moons, and then we've had multiple blood moons starting, when Jerusalem became a nation. But here is a great example of why we cannot keep their Sabbath. All right, well, let's go into, this is January on the Gregorian calendar, and also part of it is February on the Jewish calendar. This is a Gregorian calendar overlaid with a Jewish calendar. So here we'll have the dark new moon, Rosh Chodesh. And so we know it is, the first is like right here. It's a couple days after. But the point is that they'll still keep this day as a Sabbath, even though obviously it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days out. Doesn't matter what day it falls on. Like in December, it actually does fall on that particular day, on their day that they like. 7, 14, 21. These are Sabbaths. Hallelujah. And we know that tomorrow is a Sabbath. On the Gregorian calendar, it will be the 1st of January. On the Jewish calendar, it is the 28th of January. Hallelujah. We're keeping God's calendar because of these blood moons and things that are happening, and also those shofars that blasted over Jerusalem with the big circular rainbow, and you could plainly see angels flying back and forth. That all happened on a new moon. So, and when I get to heaven, I want to ask Jesus, like Eve, our mother Eve, are all women formed from the ribs of different men? I mean, is that the whole soulmate, twin flame idea that we all love to throw around? Is it truly that there's only one man that, he's missing a rib and I was made from it? And if so, have I met him? Do I know this person? I have questions. Okay, back to the calendar. So yeah, it doesn't matter if the dark new moon falls on that day or here it falls on that day, okay, in February. And they'll still say that this is a Sabbath, even though on their own calendar it's only the 4th and they haven't even counted to the 7th yet. So this is why I'm keeping God's holy lunar Sabbath, because we don't even need a calendar anymore. We don't need the Jewish calendar. We don't need the Gregorian calendar. We can look at the moon and know exactly what day it is, right? The first quarter is the first Sabbath. The full moon is the second Sabbath. The third quarter is the third Sabbath. And the last sliver is the fourth Sabbath, which, that's tomorrow. And then we'll go back to the dark new moon again. It starts over every month. The word month is taken from the word moon. Okay, let's read some more. I have a few here for you. But yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I believe that they've got a lot of things right. Obviously, the new year starts in March and not January and not September. And we can even look at the records of Pontius Pilate and see that he said that it was towards the Ides of March that Jesus was crucified. And Jesus told him also, because Pilate told him, I will protect you. They're not going to get you. And Jesus said, before the rose of Sharon is bloomed, I will be on the cross, and there won't be anything anybody can do about it. Right? I mean, we know this from his public records and letters that he was trying to explain himself. All right, chapter 73 of Enoch, verse 5. And let's back up because it's really talking about the moon. It's explaining, so it's important. After this law, I beheld another law of an inferior luminary, the name of which is the moon, and the orb of which is as the orb of heaven. Its chariot secretly ascends, the wind blows, and light is given to it by measure. It secretly ascends. It has a dark new moon. Only God knows. That's the 8th day Sabbath. It happens every month. It's a little type and shadow of what will it be like in the New Jerusalem. But just hit the snooze button, right? Every month at its exit and entrance. It's exciting. It's hallelujah, right? And its periods are as the periods of the sun. And when the moon is full, its light is a 7th portion from the light of the sun. Thus it rises, and at its commencement towards the east goes forth for 30 days. And then at that time it appears and becomes to you the beginning of the month. 30 days with the sun in the gate from which the sun goes forth. We've got more. We've got over 60 scriptures regarding God's calendar. Chapter 78 of Enoch, verse 14. And when it, that is the moon, is wholly extinguished, its light is consumed in heaven, and on the first day it is called the new moon, for on that day light is received into it. On the first day it is called the new moon, For on that day light is received into it. And so you can see why in Psalm 81:3 they've got a feast around it every single month. Hallelujah. Chapter 79 of Enoch. We're going to jump in on verse 2b. Also the decrease of the moon, which is affected in the sixth gate, for in that sixth gate is its light consumed. From this is the beginning of the month, and its decrease is affected in the sixth gate in its period, until 177 days are completed, according to the mode of calculation by weeks 25 and 2 days. And we know it's 364 days, and the Jews keep a 360-day calendar, I believe. So I'm looking for Psalms, and I probably already took it out, but